Research shows that millions of malicious repositories have been uploaded to GitHub. While GitHub work hard to get rid of them, they don't find them all. So, how do you know the GitHub code you're using isn't malicious? I personally use GitHub a lot. Because I work in cybersecurity, I'm always suspicious of what code might be in there. I've seen lots of stories and examples of malicious code causing serious problems. So, if I was a maliciously minded person, what would I want my popular code repository to do? Often, people want to earn money. That's a big driver for a lot of the attacks that we see, and there are lots of ways to achieve that. First, ransomware. If someone can get their code to run on your computer, then they might be able to deploy malicious tools to give them more access to your computer and your network. They want to access your data, encrypt it, and then get you to pay them. Not all attacks focus on this though. Another common route is to use malicious code to search for access keys. For example, it's not unusual for developers to have access keys to cloud environments on their computers. Servers and CI/CD pipelines will have similar keys too. If malicious code can access those keys, then they can be stolen and used. If they grant admin access to any environments, then again, those environments could be attacked with ransomware. They could also be used for other things like serving malicious content or racking up huge bills to mine cryptocurrencies. Other attacks might focus on users. Say the GitHub code is used for client-side JavaScript. If an attacker can get their JavaScript running in your user's browser on your website, then they might be able to steal access tokens and have full control over their web pages, possibly running JavaScript in the background to do whatever they want. That is a lot of bad things. We don't want any of those. We need to build up a picture of trust in a repository. We want lots of things that give us confidence and very few or even zero things that give us concern. I've got a cheat sheet that covers everything from this video and a lot more. It's got keywords to be aware of and language-specific references for C#, JavaScript, Java, and more. It's also got tools and commands you'll need to run dependency checks on the most common frameworks like NPM, .NET, and Java. The link is below. It's packed with details. Go take a look. The first things we need to look at are on the repository itself. If this repository is trusted by lots of other people, then it's more likely to deserve our trust. We can see that with things like number of forks and stars. Going deeper, we want to look at the history of the project. Are there issues being fixed? Maybe other contributors are getting involved. Have those things happened recently? If software security is important to you, then please subscribe if you want more. It really helps the channel. If this is useful, give it a like. I really do appreciate it. For more trust, you'll want to understand the code, and that's often not easy. It might be in a language you don't understand, or there might be thousands of lines of code. There are still things you can do to help though. Many malicious repositories don't keep all of the malicious code in there. They'll have something in the code that goes off and gets more code from somewhere else. If you look closely, you might see where it tries to bring in that malicious code. That could be a dependency, or it might even just be a command line request. They might try to access URLs or IP addresses to either get malicious code or upload your secrets. That means you can search the code for common strings like HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, or tool usage like curl or wget. If code is going to encrypt your data, then it'll often use standard cryptographic libraries. So searching for crypto could be helpful. Static code analysis tools can check if code has security vulnerabilities. Some of those vulnerabilities are also potentially malicious in the wrong hands. Take this code sample of JavaScript that I've created. It uses the eval function, which allows JavaScript to execute code based on a string of text. Running a tool like Semgrep against it highlights that eval function as a security smell. You shouldn't be using it in your own code because it can allow attacks in web pages and Node.js applications. You probably wouldn't want to use a third-party library that contains eval, although you do occasionally see it in popular libraries. I mentioned dependencies earlier. Sometimes the repository itself has no malicious code in it, but some of the dependencies are malicious. The most important thing to remember is that code in GitHub repositories and the dependencies of that code can change at any time. That means it could be safe one day and become malicious the next. This happens for lots of reasons. Sometimes the owner's account gets hacked. Sometimes owners even sell the repository to other people. There's always going to be some risk. So we want layers of security. Don't forget about the link to sign up for the cheat sheet in the description below. You shouldn't just rely on a quick glance to trust a repository. We shouldn't forget about the security basics, and we should have layers of defense, including things like running decent antivirus software on your computers. Thanks for watching.